Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Teacher Ads channel where we keep it simple as much as possible. So bago tayo mag-proceed, shout out muna sa lahat ng mga teachers and school leaders ng SDO Malabon. At ganun din po sa mga teachers ng Tumbaga 2 Elementary School ng Sariaya, Quezon. Hello po sa inyong lahat mga ma'am at sir. Thank you po sa lahat ng mga nag-subscribe na. Sa mga hindi pa po nagsasubscribe, ano pa po ang kailangan kong gawin? Shoutout lang. So, makihit lang po ang subscribe button dyan sa baba. At libreng-libre lang po yan, mga kaibigan. So, thank you very much po sa lahat ng mga nagsasubscribe. So, for this video, we will be talking about the classroom observable objectives for RPMS 2021 to 2022. Before we move on with the video, I would like to take a minute to talk about a new app that is super helpful for us teachers. I am talking about the Teachment App. Teachment is practically the answer to all our online teaching needs. With Teachment, we can do live classes with an unlimited number of learners for an unlimited duration, and we also get to record our classes and then let our learners view that later. Now allow me to talk about some of the specific features of the Teachment app. First, we have the MCQ test creation feature, which allows us teachers to create test questions in just a matter of 2 minutes. Just have to take a snap or a photo of the paper, and then we select the correct answers and then share it with our learners, and tada! These are auto-corrected test questionnaires, so our learners can view the results real time. We also get other features like an inbuilt whiteboard in the app to teach our students, and we can also easily share our notes and assignments with them. And also use Teachment for our desktop, and guess what? Ang pinakamaganda sa lahat, this is absolutely free. So if you would like to experience the Teachment app today, just check it out. The link to download the Teachment app is already in the description box below. So, download now. Moving on, I have decided to have some goals for this discussion, for this video. So, we have 2 parts in this video. So, for the first part, our goal is to familiarize with the RPMS classroom observable objectives and to be able to put together the tools needed during classroom observation. Now, for the second part, we will attempt to immerse ourselves deeper into the purpose of RPMS-PPST. Kasi baka nakakalimutan na natin kung ano ang totoong purpose niya. So for this school year, we have 2 classroom observations like last year, di ba? Ganun din po yung nangyari. So it is clear in the memo that there should be 2 classroom observations for the entire school year. Hence, ratees should submit 2 classroom observation tool or COT rating sheets or inter-observer agreement forms as MOV for objectives that require such. The alternative classroom observations should follow this time frame. So, nakalagay po dyan, CO1 should be between September 2021 and February 2022. And CO2 should be between March 2022 and July 2022. Pero anong petsa na mga kapatid? So, March na po. So, syempre, understood naman na yun na kung tapos na ang February, hindi na natin may babalik ang panahon. Kaya, tayo ay mag-move on. March to July, pwede pa tayong magpa-observe for our observations 1 and 2. Okay, when it comes to classroom observation, di ba po, katulad din ng last school year, meron po tayong mga options. Pero actually, these are not really options. It depends on the modality of the school. So, kunyari, kami, blended learning kami, pero meron kami na online synchronous learning. So, yung online classes namin, yun talaga mismo yung i-observe. Ngayon na nagkakaroon na po ng limited face-to-face, pwede din po tayo magpa-observe dun. Basta ingat lang po tayo, mga kaibigan, mga ma'am at sir. Ingat lang po tayo kasi may COVID pa rin hanggang ngayon. So, ingat-ingat lang, pati sa mga bata. So, if you have online synchronous classes or face-to-face classes, doon po kayo magpa-observe pwede. Ngayon, kung hindi po kayo kasama sa face-to-face at hindi rin po kayo kasama sa online, wala kayong online synchronous class, ang gamitin po ninyo ay yung nakalagay sa number 2. So, if option 1 is not possible, an observation of a recorded video lesson or audio lesson that is SLM-based or NELC aligned. Ang usual po na question dito ng mga teachers ay, ma'am, pwede ba yung video na ginawa ng TV broadcasters kasi, DepEd TV broadcasters, kasi po ang modality po namin ay blended. So, modular po kami plus TV-based. So, kapag po kayo ay modular tapos TV-based, hindi po pwede na video lesson yung gagamitin ninyo kasi hindi naman po kayo yung tao dun sa video, teacher broadcaster po yung nandoon sa video. So, ang sinasabi po ng mga video na to, video lessons, halimbawa, sa school po ninyo, ang ginagawa ninyo ay re-record po kayo ng video, tapos merong mga flash drive yung mga bata, tapos dun sa flash drive, isa-save nila yung videos na ginawa ninyo, tapos yung video na yon gagamitin nila bago sila magsagot ng module. Pwedeng ganun yung ginagawa ninyo sa inyong school, yun po yung considered na video lesson. Ang nagtuturo po ay ang mismong teacher ng klase, hindi po ibang teacher na DepEd TV broadcaster or kung sino pang ibang teacher na nakita natin sa YouTube, hindi po yon. Dapat po ay kayo mismo yung nandoon na nakikita ng mga bata na nagtuturo sa kanila. Kasi po merong mga ganon ang modality. So, yun po yung hello. Yun po, hello, mic test. Yun po yung gagamitin nila. Okay? So, kung naman po na option 1 and option 2 are not available or not possible, dun po tayo sa number 3, which is observation of a demonstration teaching via LAC session. Ang common question po dito ay, teacher ads, kapag ba kami ay naggawa ng LAC session, ang gagawin ba namin, yung lesson plan na ginawa namin para sana sa observation, ay i-discuss ba namin? Kami ba ay magto-talk tungkol doon? Hindi po. Your LAC facilitator will be your observer, definitely. Tapos, yun pong may lesson plan, ituturo nyo po talaga yung lesson plan na nandyan sa inyo. Ngayon, kung tinuturo nyo yung lesson plan na nandyan po sa inyo at wala kayong estudyante, anong gagawin ng mga ibang LAC members? They will act as learners. Okay? So, nung diniscuss ko po ito sa aking mga kasamahan, medyo nagkaroon lang kami ng problema doon sa SPED. Kasi syempre, kapag SPED teachers at SPED learners, magkaiba. Kasi iba yung ability, hindi ba? So, ang sabi ko lang sa kanila ay, let us leave it to our school head. Kasi sila naman yung empowered to make decisions sa mga ganyan. So, tanungin po natin ang ating mga school heads kung ano po ang gagawin sa mga bagay na hindi nakasulat sa memo. Now, let us begin with the RPMS tool for proficient teachers. So, in that tool, there are 9 classroom observable indicators. And these are, classroom observable objectives. Kapag pala RPMS ang ating pinag-uusapan, objectives ang ating tawag. Kapag naman po classroom observation ang ating pag-uusapan, indicators. Okay, so, para po sa mga classroom observable objectives, you have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 for the teachers using the tool for proficient teachers. So, the first 5 objectives are definitely going to be rated during the scheduled classroom observation using the classroom observation tool. So, sigurado na ang ating MOP ay COT rating sheets or inter-observer agreement forms. For this classroom observable indicators, we have our COT RPMS for proficient teachers, which should be used by both observers and teachers. So, si teacher, isa-study niya yan for him or her to be able to prepare for class observations. Tapos naman, kapag naman si observer ay titingnan niya ito para ma-observe niya si teacher at ma-rate niya fairly, ito yung gagamitin niya. Now, if you belong to a school who up to this time is not using this tool, I am not sure about the ratings that you are getting kasi definitely this tool is a must in the conduct of the classroom observation. Why? What are its contents? Kasi po, nakalagay po dito ay yung rubric level summary. So, nandito po yung mga expected or expectations for teachers using the Proficient Teachers tool. So, we are expected to be performing at level 7, level 3 to level 7. Nagre-range dyan sa ating rubric levels na yan. So, in the COT for proficient teachers, we can find a rubric of level 3 to level 7 labeled as organizing, developing, applying, consolidating, and integrating. Each comes with a level description like, for example, dito po sa ating indicator 1, which is apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. So, of course, teachers would like to get a rating of level 7. Okay, so if you would like to have a rating of 7, then you have to look at your COT or classroom observation tool and look at the description of level 7. So sabi dyan, the teacher applies accurate, in-depth, and broad knowledge of content and pedagogy that creates a conducive learning environment that enables an in-depth and sophisticated understanding of the teaching and learning process to meet individual or group learning needs within and across curriculum teaching areas. So, if I could not fully understand this one, the description, then I would look at the features of practice, which is written just below the description. So, if I would like to get level 7, then I'll have to showcase practice which are similar but not limited to this one. Okay, so number 1, the teacher applies extensive knowledge of content beyond his or her area of specialization. 2, the teacher motivates learners to investigate the teaching area to expand their knowledge and satisfy their curiosity. Number 3, the teacher cites intra and interdisciplinary content relationships. And number 4, the teacher shows expertise in the content and uses appropriate pedagogy in delivering the lesson. Okay, so, hindi pa rin yan malinaw for me. I am not still sure about some words in the description. I'd like to know more. So, I would look at the clarifications just below the features of practice. So, dito po yon. Yan, nakalagay po dito yung mga clarifications. So, these clarifications are helpful for us to understand the indicators more clearly. Basahin lang po natin yan. Ngayon, for our COT rating sheets, meron pong 2 pages dyan kayo na makikita. So, the first page has indicators 1 to 5 in it, while the second page has indicators 6 to 9 in it. So, wag po tayong malilito kasi katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, yung indicators para sa rating sheet at saka sa COT. Kapag chinek nyo yan, baka malito kayo sa RPMS tool. Yung RPMS tool kasi may nasingit kasi na isa na non-classroom observable objective, which is number 2. So, na-move lang, na-atras lang, pero ganun pa rin naman yung mga objectives kapag po binasa ninyo. Okay, so, objective 1 is still indicator 1, but Objectives 3 to 10 are indicators 2 to 9 sa ating COT rating sheets. Okay? I already mentioned that the first 5 indicators are definitely going to be rated during classroom observations. For indicators on the second page, which are indicators 6 to 9, there are special instructions. So, these may or may not be rated during classroom observations. If you will not be able to see it, kung kayo po ay mag-o-observe and you're not able to see it in the observation, what should you do? Should you check NO? Lalagyan nyo po ba? Kasi nakalagay NO, so not observed. Are you going to put a check mark on it? Kung lalagyan nyo po yan, the answer is no. Why? Because NO stands for not observed, which automatically gets a rating of 3. Okay? So, ayaw naman ni teacher na makakuha siya ng 3 dyan. Okay? So, kailangan lang pag-usapan. Malinaw dapat iyan kung i-observe ba ni observer o hindi. Paano? Si teacher po yung magdedesisyon. If the teacher thinks that he or she was able to prepare for it, then pwede niya ipa-observe. Kung hindi naman, edi hindi. Okay? So, para po sa mga mag-o-observe, wag nyo po lagyan ng NO kasi 3 po yung ibig sabihin nun. Kung hindi po ipapa-observe ni teacher, just leave it blank po. Okay? Wag po lagyan ng score. When are these indicators going to be rated? For indicator 6 and 7, if the teacher decides that he or she be rated in these objectives, then rate. Okay? If the teacher decides to submit something else, then just leave it blank po. Okay? Ngayon, for indicators 8 and 9 naman, there are also other conditions that we have to fulfill before these can be rated during observations. So, mamaya di-discuss po natin iyan. Basta malinaw lang po ngayon na kung nagsabi si teacher na sa 6 and 7 hindi siya magpapa-observe, wag po lalagyan ng check ang NO. Okay? Wag po lalagyan yon. Now, for objective 7 or indicator 6 and objective 8 or indicator 7, the teacher can choose between set A and set B. If he or she thinks that it would be very difficult for him or her to address this indicator in classroom observations, he or she can opt to use set A as MOV. Let us take a look at these objectives. So, sa indicator 6 po, nakalagay, the indicator to be addressed is maintain learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. If this isn't clear, just like what we discussed a while ago about the COT, just look at the features of practice and clarifications para po mas clear. And then, pag nabasa nyo na and you think na mahirap ipakita to sa klase ko kasi online lang ako. So, kung mahirap yon, wag po nating ipilit. So, piliin natin yung isa. Meron po kasing set A. Pag tinignan po natin ang ating RPMS tool, meron po dyang set A at meron din pong set B. Now, tingnan natin yung set A and set B. Set A is any supplementary material in print or digital format made by the ratee, so si ratee po ang gumawa, and used in the lesson delivery. Dapat nagamit kapag tayo ay nagturo. It should highlight the objective. Ano yung mga pwedeng supplementary material? Katulad lang din last year, nakalagay activity sheets, one lesson, lesson plan, WLP, video lesson, audio lesson, and other learning materials in print or digital format. Tapos maglagay na lang po ng annotation. Pero may isa pang dagdag. It should have client or learner feedback on how the material encouraged the learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate. Okay? So, dapat merong sagot galing sa bata kung paano yun nakatulong sa kanya. Sa ngayon, naiisip ko pa, it can be in the form of a journal, diba? Pwede tayo magpasulat sa mga bata kung paano nakakatulong sa kanila. yung kanilang mga ginagawa. Okay? So, kung sa tingin naman ni teacher, kayang-kaya ko yarn. Kayang-kaya ko yarn ipakita during observation. Go ahead po. But please inform your observers ahead of time. Okay, para alam niya po na i-rate niya. Kasi baka mamaya i-leave niya blank. Kayo pala ay naghanda. Okay, tapos makikita niyo may check yung NO. Joke lang po. Okay, so, kung kayo po ay magpapa-observe, sabihin niyo lang po sa kanila. Okay, para dito sa objective. Nakalagay lang po dyan, or ha. Kasi yung iba, sasabihin na naman sa akin, teacher, pinapapasa po sa amin set A at set B. Hindi naman po end yung nakalagay. Or lang naman po yan. So, pili lang po. It can be set A, it can also be set B. Okay po? Alright. Next. For indicator 7, which is apply a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. Katulad rin po ito ng indicator 6. So, kung mahihirapan po kayo, huwag po nating ipilit. So, tignan lang po natin kung alin yung gusto nating ipasa. Nakalagay lang din po dito ay or. So, pwede pong mamili si teacher kung set A or set B ang kanyang pipiliin. Para po sa set A, wala na po itong client or learner feedback kasi yung objective naman po ay hindi kailangan ng feedback from learners. Okay, so pwede pong ipa-observe, pwedeng hindi. Set A ba or set B? Tayo po yung magde-desisyon. Basta, pag-usapan lang with our observer para hindi magkakagulatan kung kayo ba ay magpapa-observe o hindi. Now, for objectives 9 and 10, medyo iba siya from objective 7 and 8. So, tingnan na lang natin kung paano. Dito sa dalawang objectives na to, teachers can also choose. Pero parang walang options masyado kasi it only depends on the learner in his or her classes. So, kung meron kang ganitong klase ng learner sa classroom mo, iba yung gagawin mo. Kapag wala kang learner na ganito sa classroom mo, iba naman din yung gagawin mo. Okay, so let us take a look at indicator 8, which is design, adapt, and implement teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. Okay, so ito yung nakalagay. Question: do you have learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents in the class or classes that you are handling? Teacher Ads, meron po akong estudyante mahinang magbasa. Siguro may learning disability yun. Question po ulit, may assessment po ba? Galing sa isang professional, may assessment po ba? Kung wala, tayo pa lang ay nag-a-assume, hindi po siya kasama dun sa klase ng learners na ito. Okay? Kasi syempre, we cannot label our learners. Dapat assessed sila before we can say that they have learning disabilities. Kapag hindi sila assessed, hindi natin sila mako-consider na gano'n. Ibig sabihin, itong objective na to, or itong indicator 8, at ikaw ay SPED teacher ka, for example. So, you are teaching the SPED learners. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay meron tinuturuan na gano'n, i-observe ka definitely sa indicator 8. No ifs, no buts. Okay? So, talagang i-observe ka talaga dito. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay walang learner na may assessment, hindi mo ipapa-observe ito. Iba yung gagawin mo. Teacher Adds question. Kasi, actually, ito talaga ay story ko. So, meron akong estudyante na nasa mainstream. Naka-mainstream siya sa aking klase. Pero galing siya sa SPED area. So, ngayon, dahil naka-mainstream siya sa akin, nagtanong ako sa co-teacher ko, sa master teacher namin, kay Ma'am Sol. Hello, Ma'am Sol. So, nagtanong ako sa kanya kung kapag ba teacher Che, nagkaroon ng learner ka sa klase mo, would you treat the learner as a regular learner or still a SPED learner? Sabi niya, dapat ang treatment pa rin sa kanila ay SPED learner. Kaya magkakaroon ng mga adaptations and modifications sa mga pinapagawa sa kanila. Sabi niya, so definitely, ang i-check, i-rate din ang indicator 8 ng mga teachers na nagtuturo sa mga learners na naka-mainstream kung paano nila ginagawa ang modification or adaptation dito sa pagtuturo sa mga learners na ito. Okay, so kung kayo po ay katulad ni Teacher Ads na meron naka-mainstream sa klase, actually kaya ako yung tinanong kasi mahusay yung bata. So even better than some of my learners na medyo mahina sa klase. Kaya ko lang siya naitanong kung ititreat ko ba siya or as regular learner. Pero okay naman. So, meron din namang mga ibang modifications na ginagawa para sa kanya. Okay? Kung wala talaga, ano naman ang gagawin? Doon tayo pupunta sa set A, set B. Okay? So, kung mayroon kang kung meron kang bata, definitely COT rating sheet ang inyong ipapasa, which is set A. Ngayon, dito sa ating RPMS, makikita natin na may set B, which is Teacher Reflection Form. Nakalagay po dito, Teacher Reflection Form or TRF on designing, adapting, and or implementing teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, and a certification from the school head that the ratees classes have no identified learners with disabilities, giftedness, and or talents. Okay, so, syempre, si principal, si school head, alam niya kung merong mga ganyang learners sa ating mga klase. Kasi, meron tayong LIS, di ba chine-check dyan yung mga SPED learners at saka yung mga iba't ibang types of learners pa. Okay, so, kung meron kayong learners na tagged as SPED, i-rate kayo sa objective na yan. Pero kung wala, TRF ang inyong gagamitin. At merong certificate ni school head na certification ni school head na kayo ay wala talagang ganong hinahawakan sa inyong klase. Teacher Ads, ano naman yung TRF na yan? Teacher Reflection Form. Nakalagay po siya sa ating DM4 series of 2022. There are 2 prompts there that we have to answer for TRF. Dalawa po yan kailangan sagutan. Teacher Ads, wala nga akong ganyan na learners. Tapos, ipipilit mo na sagutan ko yan. Hindi po ako yung namimilit. Nakasulat lang po, ini-explain ko lang. So, nakalagay po, number 1, wala po tayong rating kasi kapag hindi natin yan sasagutan. Remember, we are talking about RPMS. So, kung RPMS ang ating pinag-uusapan, performance rating po ang ating kailangan. Pero number 2, and I think which is more important, it is always good to prepare. Diba? It's always good to prepare. Hindi pa dumadating sa'yo yung bata, napag-isipan mo na. At least, in theory, ha? Siyempre, iba pa rin yung nandyan talaga siya sa klase. Pero, di ba, nung nag-aral naman tayo, nauna naman talaga yung theories bago tayo makapasok sa totoong classroom. So, at least, handa tayo. Alam natin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin. So, we can always look for ways ahead of time. Di ba? Can look for ways on how we can cater to them and how we can respond to their needs. So, pwede natin yung gawin. Parang, hindi pa dumadating, pinoproblema na natin para pag dumating na siya, hindi na tayo problemado, di ba po? Teacher, wala pa nga yung problema, gusto mo na kaming mamroblema. Hindi ko naman gusto yun, nakasulat lang kasi dito. So, pero tayo alam naman natin, nagpaplano pa nga lang tayo ng lesson plan, problemada na tayo, magigets kaya to ng lahat ng mga estudyante ko, baka hindi nila maintindihan. So, kailangan meron ka ng option B sa iyong lesson plan para magawa mo kung ano yung dapat mong gawin. So, di ba hindi pa nangyayari, pinaplano natin, pinoproblema na kagad natin. Okay, so yun, ito nga pong TRF na to, nakalagay dyan, no? Kung titingnan nyo po, prompt 1 at prompt 2. So, yan. Yan po yung ating mga sasagutan. Okay, so, pwede na nating pag-isipan kung paano natin sasagutan iyang mga iyan. Para pag dumating sila, we are ready for you. Bring it on! Okay, so ngayon, yung kasunod naman na indicator 9 ay ganun din po yung ating gagawin. So, ito naman po ay para sa mga learners from indigenous groups. So, kung meron po kayong IP learners dyan, i-rate po kayo dito. Pero kung wala po kayong mga learners na belong sa IP, hindi po kayo i-rate. Gagamit din po kayo ulit ng TRF. Meron po ulit na dalawang prompt na TRF sa TRF dito. So, yun po yung ating sasagutan at ipapasa. Now, how are we going to be rated? Okay? Dito sa ating TRF. Tayo po ay i-rate gamit pa rin ang rubric. Ito po yung rubric na gagamitin sa atin para sa ating TRF. So, nakalagay dyan, scoring rubric for grading the TRF. So, nakalagay po dyan, outstanding, very satisfactory, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, poor. So, yung pong nakalagay na yan ay basahin nyo na lang kung paano i-rate at kung paano natin dapat gawin yung ating mga prompts. Okay? Nandyan lang po yun sa memo. Paki-check nyo lang po. Now, for our master teachers, sa kanila po ay classroom observable objectives 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Parehas lang po ang mga indicators natin. Pero, syempre sa kanila, ang rating nila ay 4 to 8. Kasi yun yung expectation sa kanila. Wala nang free. Okay? Yung 7 and 8 na objectives, hindi po sa kanila i-observe. Kasi po, non-classroom observable objectives po siya para sa highly proficient teachers. So, ito po yung mga kailangan nilang ipa-observe. Yung 1 to 6, definitely COT rating sheet din po ang i-observe yung school head. Para naman po sa 9 and 10, ganun din po katulad po sa amin. Merong set A, which is the COT rating sheet with proof of attendance of colleague, or set B, which is the TRF. So, meron din po kayong mga prompts na sasagutan para dito. Okay? So, ayun lang po para sa ating part 1. At pupunta na po tayo ngayon sa ating part 2, which is about understanding the purpose of the RPMS-PPST deeper.